We're joined now by Chris Morrison. He's the environment editor at the Daily Sceptic. A very, very good morning to you.
Hi there, Julia.
As always, I've left far too little time for this stuff. We always just get far too caught up in the conversation, but everyone will be involved in this conversation. If you want to go on a summer holiday with your family, you may find you're going to be spending more than 50 quid more in the next few years, not because of inflation or anything like that, but because of our good old friend net zero. Tell us why.
Well, that's just the good news. The bad news, of course, is they want you to stop flying altogether, and so this is really a first step. It's to do with inserting sustainable fuels into jet fuel, which of course it leads to enormous expenses. It's basically ethanol, which we have to grow in wheat fields and all that sort of thing. They're putting in these new regulations from this year. The Climate Change Committee, which is this sort of so-called independent body run by Ed Miliband and co, is on record as saying that we want to reduce air traffic by increasing the price, basically, and this is all part of it. This will increase the price, and these people, you talk about how sensible they are. They're, at the same time that they want a new runway at Heathrow, they're trying to suggest that basically put in all these things to stop us flying.
But again, with these rules, it's like the not buying a diesel or a petrol car, but not actually owning a car at all, not being able to park it anywhere or afford to drive it anywhere, making flights too expensive. And again, as you say, the Climate Change Committee, in their actual official government reports, they've been around for a long time. They state openly what will be necessary for us to hit our net zero targets by 2050 will involve us, driving less, flying less, eating less meat, eating less dairy, and having our lives curtailed an awful lot. But again, they always assume these limitations, they won't impact them because, of course, they will be able to afford those more expensive flights. They just don't want, the rest of us to be able to afford to fly because they don't think it's actually a good idea that ordinary, hardworking families can afford a week in Spain. They kind of despise those people, don't they?
It's a massive punch down on whatever they call the working class there, or the poorer people in this country. You and I have grown up in a position, in the 50s, 60s, 70s, where we've seen enormous increases in our ability to travel.
It's amazing. We went on holiday to Cornwall, and that was considered far-flung when I was a kid.
Oh, well, we went to Camber Sands and Pontins, and that was a wonderful week out down on the Kent coast, of course. We live in a society, as I say, not just that we benefited by this enormous growth in travel, the educational possibilities, the great holidays, we can go and see other cultures. They're out to destroy it. Because, as you say, there are too many people, polluting Farengaroli and Benidorm and all these nice places, nice fishing villages that,
But that's the thing. They think they're travellers. The rest of us are just tourists. They're those people. Those people. But this is the thing. You see, people might go, oh, it's only 50 quid. It's not that much. This is always the start. That's like the congestion charges. It's only this much, or this charge for that, or for parking here. Every time I have to park my car, I get a thing, and the cost will be £4, for 3 minutes, plus a £1.50 surcharge because you're a bad person and you've got a diesel car. I mean, they all but say it. You can hear it in the tone of the electronic voice. But there are just charges after charges after charges, and it all adds up for families who are already scraping by with, the energy bills. Again, that's largely down to net zero policies, whether it's subsidies or just relying on unreliable, expensive renewables. Our cost of living is going up. Just to live a nice life, to do the things that people work hard for, is going up. And it's a deliberate policy. It's not an accident. It's not an afterthought. It's part of the policy.
And they're all Mickey Mouse schemes. They're all inferior schemes. I mean, we have perfectly good jet fuel oil. It's a natural energy of the earth, which we draw down from the earth, which was, of course, what was CO2 in the atmosphere. And it's a natural energy that's efficient, cheap, and has enabled these enormous increases in living standards. And they want to reduce it by, they'll be growing wheat. And now the problem with growing wheat for ethanol, which is what it basically is that there's lots of other uses for the land. First of all, they're having a real go at the farmers because they don't like farmers very much. So they're putting taxes on what is essentially not a capital asset, but actually a lifestyle necessity, land. Then, of course, they're making it so that they're giving huge subsidies to solar farms so that farmers are tempted to sell the land because they can't make it from growing crops. solar farms. And then they're bringing in regulations that say we have to rewild 10, 50, 20%. We have to let the beavers dam the river.
Don't stand a chance. And now you're going to be growing our aviation fuel when we've already got some. It is quite bizarre, isn't it? And again, it's all about our lives being less than, smaller and more expensive, all due to net zero. But let's not blame Ed Miliband. This is Keir Starmer. It was all the Tory Prime Ministers before them. Boris Johnson was terrible on this as well. Chris Morrison, you do fantastic work at the Daily Skeptic. I do encourage you to sign up to their website. It's absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much.